Hello and welcome back to The Movies Made Us Do It. Me and Matt are back. How are you, Matt?
I'm pretty good, sir. How are you?
I'm all right. We had some technical issues last week,
We did.
so now we're back.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, cable came off in my hand, so problems. Um, it has been ages since I've had a proper cable snap in half. That's been a long time since that's happened. So yeah. Anyway, we are back this week talking new movies.
Or relatively
Frequently,
new.
well, new for us.
Yeah.
Not from the 50s. I, it's fraught with I don't know. I struggle most weeks because I'm like, I don't want to be negative. I want to be positive,
hmm
and quite often I'm watching films. I'm like, oh god, no, it's just or there's a lot of films where I'm like, oh yeah, I'll probably never watch this again, which is usually my default for most modern movies. I feel
Yeah.
like I saw two real gems this week. Actually, I'm quite pleased with this week.
Okay.
Overall.
Yeah.
Um, do you want to kick us off though?
Well, should we start with the big one then? What I
Which do you what do you consider
presume
the
is
big one?
well, I think it's the I swear, and I think that's because it's the one that's
Okay.
causing ripples at the moment, isn't it? It's
Uh,
certainly made headlines for kind of the wrong reasons.
well, sure. So, I knew nothing about this movie.
Mm,
I knew nothing. I vaguely was aware of controversy, right?
yeah.
In that I knew someone with Tourette's was at the BAFTAs or the Oscars or something,
The
and
BAFTAs.
BAFTAs, okay. And obviously had a tick, and it was very offensive to people, and it caused a big stink. And I kind of thought at the time, I was like, well, it's someone with Tourette's, they can't help it. Unfortunate. You should have been
Yeah.
faster with your editing. Maybe you need more of a delay on your live show.
hmm
That's what people generally do with
It
live
had a
shows. You have a
two-hour
delay.
delay. It's not. It's
What?
like
Oh
it
my.
had a
Okay. Okay. Right. I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah,
So
The BBC dropped the ball on that one.
okay. So the blame firmly lies with the BBC on that one, not with
Yeah.
the poor chap that's got Tourette's.
No,
Obviously.
no, no.
I didn't realize there was a 2 hour delay. That is quite inexcusable. Okay. Fair enough. But anyway, I knew nothing about this movie, and then you said you really recommended that I watched it because we had this delay due to the audio failure
Mm,
last week. So I was like, okay, well I'll put it on. I assumed this was a documentary.
yeah.
I had no idea this was a film. So I kind of sat down this morning before work, kind of ready to watch a documentary, and I was so pleasantly surprised. I mean, I would have, if I'm sure if it was a great documentary, I would have been just as happy. But I was surprised to see that it was actually a biographical film.
Yeah.
And even more pleased to discover that it's fucking excellent. So,
Yeah.
what did
Yeah.
you
Well,
think of it? Let's
I
kick
mean,
off with your thoughts.
I was ready to. I was going to watch Sisu too.
Sure,
And
that was near the top of my list as well. I must admit.
I knew all about the movie. I was going to watch it at some point. I was just going to wait
Right.
a bit. It wasn't. I was going to kind of wait. I think it's going to be on Netflix. So I was going to wait for that.
Mm.
But my wife came in and said, "What's this movie that they're all talking about?" And I said, "Well, it's this."
See, I'm
And she
I'm
said,
so blissfully unaware of the news
"Yeah."
that I this barely came across my radar at all. Even the event of that happening barely
Mhm.
came across my radar. So, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, most people these days ignore the fucking BAFTAs and award ceremonies anyway. So it's only
Mm.
when something happens that people, you know, prick up their ears
Yeah.
about it.
Uh
So
huh.
I said, well, it's this. I said, let's watch it then. So we watched it, and I know about this David chap anyway because I'd seen the original documentary, John's Not Mad,
Right.
years ago, and then I think there were subsequent like update documentaries, and I watched those as well. So I already knew about him anyway,
Right.
um, and I I just thought, okay, well, let's just give it a go. And wow, what a fucking movie!
I
It,
was honestly blown away by this movie.
mhm,
Um, I think it's wonderful. I will say, interestingly, and I mean, I guess your personal uh taste for comedy will vary. I have seen this listed in most places as like a dark comedy / comedy. And
But it,
I found none of this funny. This was
oh really?
horrible.
Oh, I
Yeah,
found
really.
quite a few bits funny.
I
One
found
of
it deeply, deeply. The anxiety that this man
oh yeah,
went through, especially in his childhood, just really got to me. Like the scenes of seeing him having to even prepare to go for like the job interview and stuff. You're like, oh my
yeah,
god, the pressure. I
yeah.
think the pressure of the situation, really just made me like, oh god, this is not funny. This is just anxiety wrought.
Well,
You know,
see,
I'm just
I did find some of it funny. One of my favorite scenes is when I guess towards the end, or is it near the middle sort of thing,
mm.
and it's the scene where um two parents turn up to his work and say,
Oh
hey,
yeah, yeah.
we our daughter's got Tourette's, could you please talk to her? And he's like, really, you can see the sort of on his face, he's like, what the fuck, these
Yeah,
people
yeah.
just turned up from nowhere and have just want me to to their daughter. And he gets in the car, and the tirade
Yeah.
of ticks and swearing and all sorts that they go off on each other on. I thought that was hilarious because
Yeah,
yeah,
I guess.
it's amazing. You can see like he just sits there and just lets her go,
Yeah.
and he starts as well, and they're both going off, and you can see it in her face how you know how frustrated and tight and everything is, and
Mm.
her whole being starts to ease as they're both shouting at each other, and it's really funny. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
obviously it's horrible too, but it is
Mm.
also, so there is humor in it. There's a number of times where
I think no, you're
he's
right. There is humor in it. I think for me, I was just so taken back by the anxiety as someone who gets anxious in social situations anyway.
yeah.
Like this just was like proper triggering of like, oh my god, imagine if I had this person's issues, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like imagining trying to deal with anything with this such a debilitating disease. I guess it's disease. I'm not sure
Yeah,
what we would
well,
call it,
it's
or
illness, I
mental
guess.
mental condition of some kind,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh my god, the like I said, I think for me I mean the whole cast top to bottom are amazing,
Yeah,
right? But I think
yeah.
the every version of John Davidson in this movie,
Mm-hmm.
be it 12, be it 25, whoever they get,
Yeah.
amazing,
Robert Aramayo is the adult version. Who
unbelievable as the adult
I've only
version.
seen him in a few sort of bits and pieces, not as a main actor.
Mm.
And obviously he's in that Rings of Power, which I'm never going to watch. So
No.
but he is absolutely tremendous in this. He's so fucking good. I mean,
He is like so believable as someone with Tourette's. Like the tics are like it's such a perfect performance.
mm-hmm.
And like I said, the scenes of him, oh god, like the scenes when he's, for example, he's got this job interview that
Yeah,
he's trying to go for, or the lovely lady Dottie,
yeah,
someone's mum basically invites
yeah.
him in.
His best mate.
His best mate's mum. He says, "Oh, do you want to come in? We're having spaghetti." And he's like, "Oh no, I can't. I've got to get going." And she
Yeah,
leans out the window, which is quite funny. When she leans out the window, she's like, "Hey,
yeah.
what's wrong with my
Well,
spaghetti?"
yeah. That's what it's like spaghetti.
And she is so lovely, Dottie. I love her. I
mm-hmm.
love her so much. But when he's just like outside, and then when he's in the bathroom, and he's just, oh my god, you could tell because he's like, I know this is going to be a shit show. I
Yeah.
don't want to ruin these people's day.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be with my friend and I'd love to do this, but I don't think I'm capable. And the anxiety and the
And
performance is
made
so
worse.
good.
It's made worse by the fact that I mean, it doesn't matter about. I don't think it matters about spoilers in this movie, but
No.
at this point, he's told by his mate that his mum's dying. She's got cancer and she's dying.
I love
And
that. I love that scene, by the way. Minor Well, it's not even a spoiler. When she's like, "Oh, I've asked him. I've said that John can live with us," and they're like,
Yeah.
"What?" And she's like, "Yeah, fuck off. I'm dying.
Yeah.
Like, I want something to do for the rest of my life, and I think looking after this kid." She's like, "I could sit here and die, or I can help someone. I'm gonna help someone." It's like cool.
It's basically the first thing he says to her when they actually meet face to face.
He
says,
sings a song, doesn't he?
You're gonna die, and
Yeah.
and obviously she's immediately she sort of feels it, and then just immediately.
But she's a mental health nurse as well, isn't she? So she kind of has
exactly.
some understanding of
so
the
she already,
issues.
I think she already had, not experience of it, but at least knew aware of it, because I think it wasn't really widely known back then, and apparently appears to be not widely known these days either by some people.
Yeah. I mean, it's so heartbreaking. You see him as this kind of, and obviously it's a highly competitive field to get into, so probably would have gone nowhere. But he has these aspirations, and he's a wonderful goalkeeper, football player.
Yeah, he's goalie. Yeah,
and just to see all of that just collapse.
Yeah,
because of this issue.
Scott S. Watson is the younger version,
and he's wonderful too, by the way.
The slow increase of what sort of starts off as just him, like neck twitches.
Yeah. And they're all like everyone in his life is just like, oh, he's just attention seeking. Stop attention seeking.
Stop it.
Oh my god.
And that is fucking headmaster. I mean, of course, the thing is you don't know that people didn't know about this thing, and it does. Certainly from a teacher's perspective, you've got a class of whatever, 20 people or whatever it is, and you've got one student who just doesn't shut up.
The thing is, though, I
know about it.
No, and I thought this teacher at first in the opening kind of scene where he spits the peas over him, I actually thought this headmaster might actually be like, "I think you have Tourette's, and let me help you, buddy." When he calls him into his office, because he's quite calm about it. No, he does not do. He does not do that. But I'm like, you can see that this kid is genuine, though. He's not fucking around. Like, he's horrified at what he's just done. Like, he's properly horrified.
He sort of, when he calls him in the office and he talks to him, he starts off being actually quite reasonable. But the problem is John.
Under pressure, it gets worse. So
he blurts out something else, and that is it for that's it. The head teacher just thinks he's being an asshole, and And I think that there's just some of the. I mean, again, spoilers, but when he just goes to the river, exactly.
Oh my god! Yeah, I knew exactly where that was going. And his mum's just like, "Oh, he just fell in the river," and the doctor's like, "No, I clearly do not think that's what happened here." His mum, by the way, the most fucking the most 80s response to an issue. She's like, "Go to bed, sleep it off, buddy."
Yeah.
I was waiting for it to be like, "Have a Lucasade, have a Lucasade, get to bed." She's like, "Have a hot bath." Yeah, I was like half expecting her to be like, "Have a Lucasade and get some sleep."
The thing is you can see that. I mean, his mum isn't a horrible woman.
No, God no, she's going through a divorce or a separation, which is clearly happening before this. Like, they're on the rocks,
which he thinks is his fault.
But she doesn't actually deny that until after the suicide.
I mean, you can see him when they're at the family dynamic from the beginning.
From the beginning,
not on good terms already.
No, 100% from the start.
As a kid, he just thinks it's his fault.
Yeah, well, and kids regularly do that with divorce, right? That is a regular thing. So
she's not, as I said, she's not a bad person. She just doesn't know how to deal with it,
and like her performance again, and the actress who plays Dottie, that wonderful scene where they both meet outside the shops.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Like the two.
Yeah, it's Shirley
Henderson kind of directions that. Yeah,
both
wonderful.
Actresses and
both,
and it's so awkward, isn't it? Because I think
it is, but it's also a fascinating kind of almost study of like the two ways you could deal with this situation.
Yeah,
where his mum has gone one way and she's gone the complete opposite.
And it's when he tells her that he's going to move in with her,
Mm.
with Dottie,
Yeah.
and he says that she's a psychiatric nurse, and
Yeah.
his mum immediately like shouts at him and throws her uniform at him, and she says, "Well, I'm a nurse. I've been a nurse for years," you
Yeah.
know. But it's a case of you just think, well, there's still just a different people, different dynamic.
It's
You
what
know,
I love about that scene as well. And it's probably not what she wanted anyway, because obviously her husband's just left, and now her
mm,
son's leaving. Or there may be some more passage of time. It's hard to tell whether I get the impression it's pretty quick,
yeah,
or at least the film gives that impression. But there's that wonderful moment where they have this argument, and then he just says, "Look, Mum, I need a break, and you need a break. Like
yeah,
we both need a break from this. Like you can't deal with me right now with everything you're dealing with, and
yeah,
I can't deal with the way you're being to me. Like it's such an honest moment where he's like, look, we both need a break from this. Like we just can't keep doing this. Um,
yeah,
Wonderful, and God, like certainly the first half of the movie, you feel like, and this is based on a true story, so you
yeah,
know this person's life. You know, every moment of like, oh hey, I got the job. Oh hey, the cancer's benign.
yeah,
Anytime there's something nice that happens, it's almost immediately slapped down with something
yeah.
horrendous happening. Um,
It's, and the one of the real horrible scenes when he gets beaten
oh God, that's
um,
horrendous.
with a, again,
A
slight
crowbar.
spoilers, but he gets beaten by a crowbar because he basically called a woman a slag, wasn't it? Because
Yes,
she
and
walked
he
past,
apologized profusely to her as well.
and
He's like,
he,
"I'm
yeah,
sorry, I have
she
Tourette's.
basically,
Like,
I
I
don't know
can't."
whether she called her brothers or whether she just called her boyfriend or whatever, but they basically catch him when he's going under a bridge. He's
Yeah.
going home with takeaway to celebrate, isn't he?
To celebrate the getting the job and
Yeah,
the Dottie's cancer's
and
benign. Yeah.
it's when he's in hospital and he comes round,
God.
and you just think it must be in absolute agony already. But then
But then he's ticking.
he's twitching, yeah, and you can see the
He's in a neck
pain.
brace and he's twitching in the neck
Yeah,
brace. It's like, oh my
the pain
God.
with each twitch is just absolute agony. It's but what a bloody performance that is!
Oh, so, if
Not
another
once.
performance, if another performance comes along this year to beat this performance, I will be shocked at
Yeah,
this point.
yeah,
I'll just
yeah,
say that it is a brilliant performance.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
It's so good, and I love when you get to the point where he starts becoming a sort of
an activist.
an educator
Yeah.
about Tourette's and stuff. And Dottie, he says he comes in one day and he says, "What are you reading?" And she says, "I'm reading a book about Tourette's, and I think you should read it, and I think we should read everything we can find about it."
Yeah,
And then
I love the caretaker guy of
yeah,
the place he gets the job at.
yeah, Peter
Who's
Collins
the
is
first
always
person?
fucking great anyway.
Oh yeah, of
But
course. But he's the one that kind of like plants the seed of like, hey, maybe you should talk to people about this. Maybe you should help people understand this. I think
yeah,
you should go out there and do this. I love like how because I had exactly the same reaction as this man who's like, this kid's obviously got a mental condition. He can't help what he's doing and all of that. And he's very forgiving of the whole thing. And then he
yeah,
hits his dog and he's like, if you
yeah,
do that again, I will fucking murder you. And I was like,
yeah.
I'm completely with you on that. I'm like, that's the line, buddy. Walk a step
Yeah.
away from the dog and we're cool.
And the thing is when as soon as he comes into the office and the dog is sat in that chair, I
Oh,
immediately thought,
Yeah.
no, don't sit him next to the dog. Do
But
not sit.
this is what this film does so well and so expertly. For me, this film really showed me the level of tension and anxiety you must be constantly under with this syndrome. Like,
Yeah,
just unforgiving, unrelenting anxiety that at any moment, like
yeah.
it just. Oh my God, this movie is so good. I couldn't recommend this movie more right now. I'm
No,
like
no,
genuinely,
no. And I mean,
100% recommend this movie.
the movie starts with him, you know, well, it's like a few years ago now, but a movie starts relatively recently, as it were, with him being honoured by the Queen for
Yes,
his work for his work on education about Tourette's,
Yeah.
and you could. He does not want to go into that room. He does not want to
No.
go. See, he does not want to go into the room with the Queen.
He's like, look, from what I'm about to say, people have historically definitely been hanged.
Yeah.
Like, definitely. Yeah.
But he's told the Queen knows what
She
you
knows,
have.
yeah.
The Queen's been told what you have. The Queen knows. If it happens, it happens. And he does. He does shout out "fuck the Queen," basically, doesn't he?
It's like the second he walks in, he doesn't like. I don't think he's even seated at that point. He's like literally on the way in.
When he actually goes to the, when he goes up to actually receive his medal, you can see the concentration on his face of him not.
Oh God, yeah.
But all through the movie, when he warns people, don't stand to the right of me because that arm goes out, and that.
Yeah.
But it's not just the tics as well; it's the other things that.
Oh, it's the compulsion to do things that are.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, to the point of like self-harm, suicidal, like horrendous injuries.
Well, there's two moments that because he takes a while to explain it, which I really like how they did that in the movie.
I liked that too.
He keeps kissing lampposts.
Yeah, and he says like that if it's at a certain angle or is a certain color, I have to kiss it. I just have to.
He thinks if it's the wrong color or he has to kiss it just to make it better, to make himself feel better, to make it work in his head.
But and I love what he says. He says about the chairs being straight in the thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I feel like if I don't get these chairs straight, you'll die. Like it's like that's a thought that will go through his head. He's like, if I don't do this, like. So you will die. Like I have to do this. Like like he has no choice but to do. Well, again, he has no choice but to do these things. There is no control.
And when he moves into the flat, and he has the balcony, and he immediately he's like, yeah, this is great, a balcony, and then it suddenly sort of occurs to him, oh, I might just jump over this. The estate agent says, "Oh, we can get safety bars put on that," and he's like, "Yeah, I think that's a good idea," because he knows himself. He knows that he just have the compulsion just jump over.
Yeah.
It's
a wonderful movie. Really is.
I'm not sure I've seen anything else. The Kirk Jones is the director. I'm not sure I've seen. Oh, Waking Ned. He did Waking Ned, which I have seen. Which is a great movie. He's fine. He did my Big Fat Greek Wedding too.
I never watched it.
I've seen the first one. I have watched the second one. It's not very good. I think there's a
Nanny
third
McPhee. Okay.
Nanny McPhee, I did not get on with very well.
I didn't watch it, but I remember it being quite big when it came out.
Yeah, it was huge. It was okay. Yeah. The second one is really bad. I could not finish watching the second one, but he didn't do that one. So
this is the first film I've seen of his, and it's
it's wonderful. It's really, really brilliant. I like you. I cannot recommend it enough. It's just
no.
And there's the two main actors that play him.
They're both wonderful.
Aramayo and Scott Ellis Watson are tremendous. They're so good, and. I would happily watch anything with either of those actors in future because they were just great, really, really good.
Yeah, I thought this was superb. I really have no criticism of this film. I thought it was bloody fantastic.
No, everything about it is great.
I can see why it won awards if it's won awards because I assume that's why it was at the BAFTAs, right? 100%.
I think Robert Aramayo actually won the best male actor, I think, for that.
100% deserved, for sure.
Which is 100% deserved. It's one of the few times from an award ceremony recently that I go, he deserved that bloody award. It's an absolutely tremendous performance.
Yeah, no, it really is a really amazing movie.
And I would also
I did see. I don't know if it's changed, but it did have 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is rare as fuck. And I agree. I mean, it's not that it means much, but it is an indication that pretty much everyone unanimously you know.
And I think it's also, you know, if you don't know anything about Tourette's, this is a great movie to show you the devastating effects of what it can do to your life. You know?
I think I'd seen documentaries on Tourette's before, and you know that those were really informative. But I think this one really this film for me nailed and portrayed the anxiety more than any documentary has. This really just put me in the shoes of someone that's just desperately trying to live their life with this completely debilitating syndrome.
Again, harping on about it, but when he's you know, his mate comes back from, I think he says he's been living in Australia, doesn't he? And it's Dottie's son, and he says, come on, we'll go out. And he's like, first of all, he's like, no, I can't go out. And then he's like, yeah, it's big. And he is overjoyed to go out. He wants to go out. He's like never been out. He's never gone out drinking. And he wants to go out drinking. He
ends up getting a beating that night. And the next day he's like, no, that was the best night of my life.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, regardless, that's the best night of my life.
Oh my God, this is fucking awful. This is trouble. He says, no. He said, no, that was the best thing that I've ever done. It was fucking wonderful.
Yeah. Because he's never been able to do that. And he was like, regardless of how it ended in a police cell, I had the best night of my life.
He went out, he danced with a girl. It was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So yeah, I cannot recommend this film enough. This was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I swear, definitely recommended. What do you want to do next?
Should we do the Bluff?
Let's take it down a notch, yeah. So The Bluff is an Amazon Prime exclusive movie directed by Frank E. Flowers and starring Priyanka Chopra and Carl Urban. I didn't know anything about this movie, but Prime kept shoving it down my throat, so I was like, fine, I will watch what turned out to be another John Wick movie. This time with pirates and Carl Urban, who doesn't seem to give a shit most of the movie.
No.
Well, some scenes he was fine. Other scenes I got the impression he just kind of didn't want to be there. Anyway, so this story, you know, the plot basically follows this former pirate known as Bloody Mary, who now lives on this isolated island community with her disabled son Isaac and her sister-in-law. They're all completely unaware of her past. Meanwhile, this infamous pirate has been searching for his gold and captures a captain and learns of the gold's whereabouts. And of course, the pirate, played by Carl Urban, has a history with Bloody Mary, and so comes to the island seeking his gold and maybe revenge for her, you know, leaving him, as it were.
Yeah.
And then from there, John Wickness ensues, basically. And, you know, for the most part, maybe I was thinking about this over the weekend. I was like, maybe I was a bit harsh when I spoke to Matt about this movie. You know, like, it's okay. I think my biggest issue with this movie is it takes itself far too seriously. Like, there were bits in this movie where I'm like, am I meant to really take this seriously at this point? Because they get real emotional and real deep, and I'm like, really? Like, really?
I mean, well, they try to.
They try. That's what I mean. They try to, and it's so earnest the whole way through. I'm like, I really feel like with the right kind of humor, this film could have been something really fun. But they kind of took it way too seriously for me, which almost ruined it. I didn't think it was terrible, but it almost ruined it.
Well, I must say, I did actually enjoy quite a lot of it.
I enjoyed most, I think.
When they started getting into the traps and things.
They did Rambo 5. Yeah, they did Rambo 5.
Yes, that's it.
Or like, I've watched Rambo 5 too, in the caves. Cool.
When she started doing all that stuff, I really enjoyed all that. I thought it was
fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
And most of the fights were pretty good. There was a few that were like, okay. You
I
know.
thought the first one was actually very good.
Mhm.
With the two guys that come in. Although at one point I didn't bother rewinding it, but at one point I thought she shot someone. Then and he gets up and he's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, she does.
I guess she
Hits him.
missed, or
Well, I don't know. He says he's all right. Mate, I don't know. Maybe he had armor on or
I
something.
mean,
I don't know.
yeah, I
I didn't see
guess
any armor, but I
that
mean, she
that
hit him
did
with a
puzzle
fucking.
me. it
She hits him
it
with a
puzzled
fucking
me.
like blunderbuss for fuck's sake.
Yeah,
So
like
you
almost point blank range.
basically shot, yeah, point blank range shotgun. Basically, she hits him with, and it was like fuck. The thing that
I mean, I guess it's on me because it did confuse me, but I didn't. It didn't. I didn't care enough to rewind it back to find out. So I was like, that was weird, but whatever.
no, I mean, so this is heavily later John Wick because people get
Oh God, yeah,
injuries and just get up. I mean, there's
yeah,
also
yeah.
a lot of
This
people that
is
don't get up. I mean, there is. When
yeah.
they
The rules of when people do and don't get up in this movie is all over the place, much like John Wick.
yeah,
Yeah.
but this movie started off on the wrong foot for me already because
Oh.
it came in and it says 1864 the golden age of piracy is coming to an end, and I was like, the golden age of piracy ended about 100 years before this.
Yeah, and
So-
they're all like, oh my god, Carl Urban pirate just turned up with super weapons because he's got a
Yeah.
revolver. And they're like, what the fuck?
He's got. See, now this is when they started. I was going, oh, okay, this is cool though, because he's got a Le Fachot, which is a 20-round double-barreled pistol,
Yeah, it's
and
ridiculous.
it's fucking awesome. I love that
Yeah.
fucking thing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a really cool weapon, and I don't think I've ever seen one in a movie before, but that was really cool. And also,
Yeah.
she's got a harmonica pistol at one point, which is great. I mean, the problem with the Le Fachot, I think it's about 10 years out. I think it's.
Oh, that's
early.
with intolerance for a movie, though. That's
But
fine.
yeah.
Especially because everyone acts like they've never seen anything like it before. It kind of works.
Yeah, which is fair enough because I mean it would have been probably rare enough anyway.
Yeah.
But they keep harping on about the golden age of piracy, and I'm like, no. Sure,
No.
there were still pirates around. There's still pirates around now.
But the way that his crew talk is like the golden age is just ending now, and it's like none of you were around for the golden age before you were born.
No, I think that the golden age of piracy is generally thought to be around, what is it, 1650s to about the 1730s, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that was already like no. It's already no. Okay. And there's some other ridiculous things like the guy with the sniper rifle on the
Oh
boat
yeah.
coming,
Yeah.
which is, don't get me wrong, it's fucking cool. It's and I like the sort
It's
of,
a hell of a shot
but there's
from a
there is
moving boat.
yeah, there is an awful lot of, especially at that beginning bit with Carl Urban, where he's like decimating them all, and you just sort of think, actually, you've all got muskets here, or
yeah. I mean, you get at least one good shot off on him.
Yeah, you just needed to stand still and just give a couple of shots out. He'd have been fucked.
Yeah.
But no, they had to. They which is fine. It's okay. They up his villain status. He's got he's got plot armor. It's fine. But
yeah,
it is a bit silly at times that they do certain things. But again, a lot of the weapons, a lot of her swords and things are things that you don't often see in.
Yeah, I appreciated that too.
So there's a lot of sort of really cool little nice uses of weapons you don't see very often, which was really cool. I really did enjoy that. But you're right about Carl Urban. He just felt like he was paychecking.
Sometimes he was okay. There were some scenes where he was fine, but there were certain scenes, especially early on, I was like, is this a performance or do you just not give a shit? I'm not sure. I'm not sure I can tell.
Almost any time he's
probably...
talking to Maura Morrison, he's all right. When they're talking, he's okay.
And it's weird for me because I've seen Carl Urban in some shit, but I've never seen him not care until this film was it was the first film where I saw him and I was like, kind of feels like you don't
I've
really,
heard the later seasons of The Boys he phones it in.
Oh, okay. Well, I haven't watched.
But
Yeah,
I didn't.
it.
I haven't seen the later seasons, and I can imagine that's probably because they're awful. So he probably just didn't want to do it anymore. Maybe I don't know.
With good reason, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not sure. I mean, I like him his Bill Butcher in the first source.
Oh yeah. I saw the first couple of seasons. I thought he was great. Yeah.
But yeah, he does. I mean, I guess it's supposed to be his character is supposed to be like a aloof and.
Yeah, I guess it might have just been a performance that he was going for.
It did feel like he couldn't be asked.
Yeah, that was the impression I got. Especially given that this is, he's after the woman that betrayed him and stole all of his gold. I kind of expected him to give a shit more in a few scenes when he just didn't seem to really care that much about it. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It's silly nonsense taken far too seriously, but it's a bit of fun.
Also, that bit when she blows up the gold,
yeah,
and Tamara Morrison goes, "Oh, the gold's gone now. She blew it up," and it's like, well,
not really.
I don't think you can blow up gold like that.
No,
it's
and also. You are aware that you can melt gold down, right? I mean,
exactly.
Just get the shards and melt them down.
There's still big bits of it in that wall over there that you could just dig out.
It's embedded in a few people. Just pull it back out and you're good to go.
You've already said you don't give a fuck about the people, so just dig it out of the people that have been volleyed with it. You know?
Yeah.
It's a sort of it's a kind of shit movie, but it's an enjoyable.
Yeah, but it's enjoyable shit. I just wish it had a bit more of a sense of humor, because I think then that would have elevated this film into something quite enjoyable. Actually, if it just
maybe
Go on.
Sorry, maybe if they would have given him a slightly more funny aspect or something, it might. But they definitely wanted a dead serious pirate movie. They did not.
That's the thing. Those two things do not gel. If you wanted to do a dead serious pirate movie, I'm all for it. And if you wanted to make a John Wick pirate movie, then that's fine too. Yeah. But pick one. Don't try and do both at the same time.
I suppose they just didn't want it to be, Pirates of the Caribbean, so they probably didn't want the funny stuff. For that,
fair enough.
They didn't want anybody to go, "Oh, he's like Jack Sparrow," which is, fair enough, because
I think I would have given her more of a sense of humor than him, actually.
Either would have worked. Either would have been fine.
Because you could be like, she's obviously trying to escape that life, but maybe she enjoyed it. And when she starts, she's kind of a bit more. Until her disabled son looks at her and then she's a bit horrified at what she's done. That kind of thing. You could have done something.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just felt like the tone was a bit much at times for me, where it was a little bit too serious for itself, for its own good. But I did enjoy it. It's not like,
No, that's it.
I hated it.
It was a movie. It's a movie I'm never going to watch again.
100%. As I said in the opening, most movies fall into this category for me. But yes, 100%. I'm never watching this again.
But for what it was, I actually enjoyed it. There was there's enough pretty good fight scenes and
the fight scenes are pretty well choreographed.
Yeah. I mean, I will also say the fucking CG was terrible.
Yeah, it was. I'm way more forgiving of that these days. I think lower budget movies, I'm like, fine.
Yeah. I mean, but
yeah.
Again, the scene at the end with the fight with them at the end, it looked terrible because of the background.
Yeah.
I'm surely they could have.
I think soft focusing backgrounds is always a bad idea with green screen.
Yeah.
And
the fight itself
was all over this movie. So
I quite like the fight itself. It was quite good,
it was cool. Yeah,
the sort of back and forth and things, and
mm-hmm.
it was enjoyable enough. She looked great.
Oh, she was fantastic, and I thought she was perfectly fine in the role. I thought she did great, actually.
She's an actress I've not seen in an awful lot, but
no, but I she was like believably fierce, and you're like,
Hmm.
yeah, she's kind of believably badass. Yeah, that I
Yeah,
had no issues with her. I thought she was actually fine. And for me, it was just that kind of, it just took itself too seriously for me, and that's not on the actors. That's on
no,
the Russos or whoever decided to, uh, you know, Mr. Flowers.
yeah. I mean, I'd recommend it as a throwaway action movie.
Yeah, it'll kill two. It's too long as well. That's the other thing. It'll
Yeah,
kill
just
2 hours, and yeah, there's worse things you can
well, I
watch.
think they really tried to flesh out the whole family dynamic thing, but
Yeah,
to
I
be
wouldn't
honest,
have bothered with
it,
that.
it just
that
becomes
that
it actually becomes annoying.
that belongs in a different movie. That
Yeah.
belongs in a serious pirate movie. We could do that over there, but
Hmm.
over here is your stupid John Wick clone with pirates. So just do that, and that's fine. Uh,
Yeah.
in many ways, I would have been like, hey, do your serious ex pirate drama in a separate movie, and just remove the family altogether from this movie, and just let her fucking have at it on the island,
Yeah.
and we'll have some fun. But again, not terrible. It's worth a watch to pass the time, if nothing else.
Yeah.
So, what else have you watched?
So I've also seen Goodrich,
Yes,
which is
Goodrich.
it's a couple of years old now, but
Hmm.
it was suggested to me, and
Well,
I thought, okay,
I still
I
put 2026 in brackets, so never mind.
yeah, well, it's I mean, I saw Michael Keaton, I saw, and I thought, well, okay, I'm sold. I'll watch
Oh
a
yeah,
as is it classed as a comedy? I don't know actually. What
I'm
is
I'm always
classed as?
happy. I'm always happy when Michael Keaton gets work. So,
Yeah,
I'm instantly sold.
yeah, it's classed as a coming of age comedy drama, which is a bit weird.
Okay,
Coming of age, or
I'm guessing it's a
coming
coming of age more
coming of
for
midlife
Mila
crisis
Kunis,
age.
or
I suppose so. Yeah.
hmm.
So we're introduced to Andy, played by Michael Keaton, and the film opens with him in bed getting a phone call from his wife,
Hmm.
and she says, "I have booked myself into a um, God, what's the word? I completely lost the word.
Rehab
Um, Rehab.
center.
Thank you. So I've booked myself into a rehab center for 90 days, um, and that's it. You're not going to see
Hmm.
me. You're going to have to look after our kids. Obviously, she's younger than him, and their kids are very small. Their kids are, I don't know their ages. I'm terrible at guessing kids' ages. They're like, I don't know, 8 and 10 or something like that. They're young kids. And
Yeah.
he didn't even know she wasn't there. He didn't even notice that she hadn't come home yet.
Right.
Um, Now he owns a art gallery. Um,
Okay.
which is it's kind of failing because the rent is really high. Um, I think the market in art seems to be not good right now.
Right.
So he's Kevin Pollock, who I love Kevin Pollock. He's got a small role. His sort of like his friend and business partner, and they've got this sort of accountant who's telling them that they're better off getting new premises that's cheaper, somewhere
Hmm.
else. And he's like, well, this is, we've been here for like 20, 30 years or whatever it is. And, this place has history. This is, most of my life. And so he's got that going on. His, his wife's now in, in rehab,
Hmm.
and everybody, like his sort of nanny or his the woman that comes to sort of look after the kids while he's at work, sort of thing.
Yeah.
They're all like, yeah, we knew that she didn't. You notice she was taking pills? It's like, no. It's like, didn't you know? It's like, yeah, she drinks a bit, but I don't understand. And he drives to the retreat, this place, and they're
Right.
like, yeah, you can't see her. It's like, well, why can't I
Yeah.
see her?
Yeah.
I'm going to bring her home. He's like, no,
No, no,
and he's like,
no, no. Home is the problem. We're trying to fix. We're trying to
yeah,
help her
exactly.
here.
And
Like, yeah.
no, no, she doesn't want to see you, and she can't see you. And he's like, well, she's got to come home with me. What the hell am I going to do? And he's like, no, that's it, bye, sort of thing. So he's he's completely sort of out of his depth. He doesn't really know how
Mm.
to look after his kids properly. He doesn't know what they eat or how they,
Sure.
you know. And he basically phones his other daughter from a previous marriage, who is
Mm.
um, Mila Kunis, and she's like, you only really call me when you want something. This is bullshit. You've not really been there for me, and you want me to come over and look after your new kids.
Yeah.
Okay, fine, but maybe once, sort of thing. But she's going through her her own stuff. She's pregnant with her first child, and her husband, who is this sort of like, he's this cool, like, nerdy guy who I'm pretty sure he's a doctor as well. The dad doesn't really like him, doesn't really understand him,
Right.
doesn't get him,
Uh-huh.
doesn't understand their relationship, so he doesn't, and the guy knows that he doesn't like him. So it's basically him trying to cope with life while everything is falling apart around him, and just sort of him coming to the realization that how much of a selfish prick he is, really, and how much of a oblivious asshole he's
Mm.
been. But it's really sort of bittersweet. It is funny, and it is sort of
Yeah,
tragic.
I was gonna say, I'm assuming it's not like an Uncle Buck kind of situation. Like it's,
No, it's not.
yeah,
It's certainly not that sort of comedy, but it's more of a dark sort of
yeah,
dark,
yeah.
and it very much reminded me of earlier Keaton movies, like Mr. Mom or something like that.
Sure.
That
Yeah,
sort of,
yeah. He excels at that kind of stuff, actually.
yeah, he does. And the thing
Yeah.
is that I think maybe it's because it's Michael Keaton that you do want to go with him on it, despite the fact that he's a dick. He does try his best. He does start coming round. He does sort of begin to realize that he's missing his kids' lives.
Mm.
He's missing bringing them up and being around them, and he subsequently realizing that he fucked up with his other daughter and wife, and he bumps into his wife at one point, his ex-wife at one point, played by very brief role, played by oh my word, Andy McDowell. So he bumps
Mm.
into Andy McDowell at this thing, and he says they're talking about how they were when their daughter was sort of growing up, and how he wasn't there, and he says to her, "Oh, I never appreciated how much you gave up for this life." And she just looks at him and says, "Well, I never saw it as giving something up. I didn't
Mm.
see it as giving up a life for this life. That's the main difference between us, is that you see it as giving up something. I didn't." So you get
Yeah.
these wonderful, there's what I'm going to spoil one of my favorite scenes, which this he sort of makes friends with one of the other dads,
Yeah.
and they go to like a Halloween shop to get costumes for Halloween for the kids, and the friend gets this kid wants a Boba Fett outfit,
Sure.
and the dad's like, "Oh, I can't afford that," and he's like, "Yeah, it's fun. Just put it in a bag. We'll get it." And the kid and his own kids are like, "Oh, we want this and we want that," and he's like, "No. I know exactly what you need. To do." And then you cut to them at somebody's door, and the woman opens her door and she says, "Ooh, Boba Fett," and she gives like candy to the Boba
Mm.
Fett kid, and then she looks at the other two, and she goes, "Old man and Spanish lady," and the boy's dressed as Andy Warhol, and she's
Oh
dressed as
wow.
Frida Kahlo, and
Oh wow, that's amazing.
he himself is dressed as Salvador Dali, and I just
I
she calls them old man and Spanish woman, and the kids just turn round to the dad and look at him, and he's like, "Ah." Okay.
That's kind of brilliant.
Brilliant.
I thought you were gonna say. I thought you were going to say Batman and Beetlejuice, but I guess that would have been a different tone of movie.
Yeah, no. It's just that obviously,
That's great.
he from he loves art and he loves artists and all that sort of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would have appreciated that if those kids knocked on my door.
Yeah, I would have. I mean,
Yeah.
your average
No,
parent
yeah.
probably is not going to know that they're dressed as Andy Warhol. It's a really, there are some really lovely scenes with him and Mila Kunis about how she says she gets to a certain part later on in the movie where she says she starts resenting him because he is being more of a dad to these new children than to her, and she's like, you never did any of this with me, you never spoke to me like this, you never and I resent you for it. I hate, and
Yeah.
I'm resenting the kids for it because and
Uh-huh.
it's not their fault, it's just that
No.
that's just how I feel, and it does have a real sort of bittersweet quality to it because he's no, it's not really spoilery, but he's losing his gallery. It's going down, and
Right.
he does get to a point where he thinks he's back on track, and this thing falls through for him, and yeah, he realizes that he's got to move on. He's got to do something else, and it is really nice. It was a really pleasant movie that it's mainly just for him. It's mainly just his performance. It's just really good as this just this guy realizing that most of his life he's just been ignoring his family, and
Yeah.
just not noticing. It's again, it's horrible, but it's also funny. Every time he talks to someone about his wife, and they all like, yeah, we noticed that she was drinking too much and she was on pills.
Yeah. And
How
he's
come
just
you
completely
didn't?
been oblivious. Yeah.
I mean, even his kids, his little kids are like, well, we noticed that she was taking pills. We didn't know what they were for. We didn't know that she was unhappy, but we knew she was doing it. Why didn't you?
Yeah.
So
If
yeah,
anyone should know, it should
yeah,
be you, buddy. Yeah.
it is funny. It's not laugh a minute funny, but it is, as I say, a real sort of bittersweet movie. And I really like the way it ended, and I really like the central performances of him and Kunis are really great, really really good, and I would recommend it to anybody who likes that sort of sharp comedy that's not slapstick or
Sure.
really trying to be something it's not. It's just a really nice um kind of sort of throwback to that sort of stuff from the 80s, that sort of baby boom sort of
Sure.
Mr. Mum type stuff where the parent has to sort of change their perception and their habits for to carry on, if they want to carry on with their families at least. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's a really fun movie.
Yeah. No, that sounds really cool. Keaton's always, always great, and
Yeah,
he does
he
really
is.
excel at that kind of movie. So yeah, I can
Yeah,
imagine it's good.
yeah. Keaton does have a that sort of that he can balance dickhead and charming really well.
Yeah.
He's got that sort of you you kind of want to punch him, but also want to go out for a drink with him as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, cool. Do you want to talk about a tank?
Let's do it.
So, The Tank or Der Tank, again, a movie I knew nothing about until I saw you text me, hey, I've seen these movies last week, and I was like, okay, I'll watch one of these so that we've got something to talk about together. And so I saw The Tank, I put it on, and as soon as it started, it came up with Der Tank, and I immediately turned off the English audio, switched over to German, and turned the subtitles on.
Yeah,
So I was like,
here,
I want to see this properly. So this is a film set in World War II, German Tiger tank and its crew are sent on a secret mission behind enemy lines, or behind a contested line, I guess.
Basically, it's the lines are moving, aren't they? It's
Yeah.
towards the end. It's towards the end of the war, and the Russians are sort of
Germany's in
pushing
retreat, and
yeah.
The walls are closing in around the Germans. They're kind of on the retreat, but still, they're not completely crushed at this point. It's kind of a fighting retreat of sorts. So this tank crew have to kind of make their way through this land, meeting both friend and foe along the way. And really the real selling point of this movie, I think the thing that will aside from the ending, but I can't spoil that, the thing that will make or break this movie is the characters you meet, the 5-man crew. And for me, I thought they were brilliant, all of them. I loved the entire crew, particularly the driver, but all of them were great.
It's a Helmut, isn't it?
Helmut, yeah, he's great. There's something about that guy's facial expressions that just, he's so good. No, I thought all of these characters were really well realized. I thought they were really well developed, and you really believed they were a crew of people that were together all the time in this tiny little,
And you do get the sort of the cliches of that. You've got the driver, the stoic driver,
of course,
the humor, and you've got the young kiddie who's like obviously a new crew member, but but it's done so well that each character is believable. And I love one of the scenes I loved was the scene with the young kid talking to the lieutenant, and he says to him, "Oh, Helmut's always ragging on me. He's like, he hates me. He's always on my case." And he says, "Well, that's how he shows that he likes you. He lost his son. His son's the same age as you, and his son died. And what he's actually doing is that he's showing how much he cares for you by basically being a prick to him."
Yeah. There are some.
And the kid sort of, you sort of look at the kid's face, and he's like, for a moment,
it slowly dawns on him. Yeah,
it's like really confused, and then he sort of thinks, "Oh, actually, that makes sense." Really, it's really brilliant. I loved it.
Yeah, I thought I think this movie really does capture the kind of the tension of being this tank, because a tank is a big target on a battlefield, effectively. I think we kind of in fiction often portray a tank as this like unkillable thing, when in reality you are like the biggest target on any given battlefield,
against a bunch of like standard infantry. With no form of tank killer or whatever, anything that could possibly take out the tank, then it's gonna be pretty fucking hard to take it down.
But in a retreat situation where you're going across the lines and the Soviets or the Russians are hot on your tail, not so much. But the tension that this film builds, I think, is perfect. You really do get the feeling that they might all just die at any moment.
I like the big gun, the big Russian. Was it? I forget what bloody model it is. It's basically a fucking a massive caliber that will completely punch a hole through a tank. It's a big fucking tank killer, and every time that turns up, the tension is amazing.
It's huge. Yeah. I also really thoroughly appreciated. I think this is the only film I'm aware of. There probably are other films. I have never seen a film depicting a tiger tank going underwater. I really appreciated seeing that. That's not something you ever see in a movie.
It's so
excellent.
Cool. I love that you see them prepping for it, and you see how
it's great.
and they're all like, "This is a fucking bad idea. There was no way."
Well, I think they were like, "This is probably a bad idea." Anyway, because obviously the risk is that the engine may not restart, but they've also taken heavy fire at this point, and like this tank is kind of ropey.
the tank is already damaged in it,
Yeah.
you know, it's in a number of spots, so they're already sort of, you know, limping, as it were, and they're kind of surrounded. And it is a case of, well, what else are we gonna
Well,
do?
I
Well,
mean,
let's
this
just
is the
fucking
thing,
hide
though.
for a bit
It
and hope they
it is
fucking go past us.
well. I can see both sides of the argument because Helmet is the one that brings us up, I think, and it's like, well, they've got no choice. They'll die if they don't do this because they're surrounded.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, Helmet's like, I think I'd rather get blown up than drown, though. You know, and it's kind of like,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I can kind of see his point. He's like, yeah,
Yeah.
I think I'd kind of rather just get blown up than drown here. So yeah, I kind of got it. But I thought this film was really good. I know we discussed this off air, and I don't know, we shouldn't really spoil it, but I think I saw the ending from the beginning, as you did, I believe.
Yeah.
Saw the ending coming. We knew that it was okay. I get what
Mm-hmm.
this movie's doing. I think if you don't get that, this might annoy you. I thought the film did it very well. I thought it was earned. I liked it. I saw the twist, so it wasn't a particular surprise to me anyway. And there's enough hints along the way, but I thought this film was really, really good. I really enjoyed it, and I think the ending didn't bother me, where it may bother some people.
It's going to be compared quite a lot to Fury, because Fury.
I thought that this film actually did better than Fury in many places, personally.
Yeah, and I love Fury. I think Fury.
I didn't dislike Fury. I thought Fury. My main issue with Fury was towards the end. It becomes a bit silly.
I think, and that's the sort of without saying too much about this movie.
Yeah,
that I think is one of the main differences between this movie and that movie.
it is. Yeah,
but
absolutely.
But there's there's a different thing that happens in this movie.
Yes, which may annoy you more. It may annoy you more.
Yeah. So it doesn't have, to a certain degree, it doesn't have the same action movie tropes. I would let's say that
no, for sure.
Fury has. That Fury is much more of a Second World War action movie, especially towards the end. You know, when they've got the big when they're at the crossroads.
Yes,
this movie's saying something else.
It is, and
you. I think from what I've read about people's opinion on this movie, it might not sit well with you.
I said to you, because I had no idea or preconceptions going into this movie.
No.
And I said to you when we didn't record last week, I called you and I said to you, like, this film's gonna piss people. It's gonna be a Marmite movie for sure. But I really liked it. I really did.
I did.
And I think where Fury is an action movie, this feels like a survival movie. Like, they're just, you know, they have a mission, but really above the mission is like just trying to fucking scrape by, you know.
And it's a complete, it's a sort of bullshit mission that they no one.
Oh yeah. They don't want to go.
You know,
they're meant to be on leave, right? Because they were given leave and they're immediately cancelled their leave.
You know, they've just survived a horrible situation, and they think,
you
know, they're repairing. They've got the tank needs repairs, and they need to rest up a bit. But no, they get this mission, and it's like, oh, for fuck's sake! Like, okay, we'll do what repairs we can, and we'll move on. And everyone's great in it.
No, the performances are super.
Leonard Kunz is Helmet, who I thought he was tremendous, and the guy playing, you know, the lieutenant is wonderful.
David Schutzer, is it?
Schutzer,
yeah, he's fantastic.
He's great as well. Some of the the scenes where he's thinking about his family.
Yes.
And he's just sort of not exactly indecisive, but hesitant about some decisions because of what's going through his mind.
Yeah, and I thought primarily with him, but with the whole crew, there are some throughout the movie they do this, but one scene in particular when they come across the village where they're just basically burning houses to kill people, and they're like, they come across some retreating Germans that are basically just killing everyone in a village, and they're like, well, we just put them in the building with the animals, we set fire to the building, the animals kick them to death, it saves bullets, so they're just there with flamethrowers burning it. The crew barely say a word, and they don't have to because their faces just says it all. it's a wonderful, like, from their performances, wonderful scene where they're just they're clearly quite disturbed by this whole thing and just like, fuck,
Yeah,
you know. Yeah, wonderful. Oh, I thought the performances, as they needed to be, because a bad performance in a movie so centered around these people would have been awful. The performances are
yeah,
superb in this movie.
yeah. And there's I mean, so some of the tense scenes are amazing. The scene
Very tense, yeah.
where they come across the minefield.
Oh God, because that kid, I said to you, that 15-year-old, that good-looking 15-year-old kid, as soon as he was introduced, I was like, he's fucked. Like,
Yeah,
he's gonna die horribly. And then it
yeah,
is like only a scene or two later where he's in the minefield. I'm like, oh my God,
yeah.
this is it. No, wonderful. Such a tense scene, that scene.
Yeah.
And it didn't go the way I was expecting it to go, which
No,
I really appreciated as
no.
well. Yeah, I thought that all of those scenes were very tense, and very good.
Also, I mean, the thing is I don't want to spoil anything.
No, of
But
course.
there are certain scenes that show things,
Yes.
and those are really good. They are really.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's say the outcome with the tank killer.
Yes.
What happens after the tank they encounter the tank killer for the second or third time? Was like, oh, yep, yep. You know, this is definitely where we're going with this movie, and
Yeah.
I was fully on board with it.
Me too. I also thought this film did a very good, because there's quite a few scenes in this movie where the tank commander's like, time to take your medicine, guys. Take
They're
your
just
methamphetamine.
back amphetamines. Yeah.
I thought it did a very good depiction of people on methamphetamine too.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's really, really great movie. I really, really enjoyed it. But beware, you may hate the ending. I think most people will probably see the movie for what it is and know where it's going quite early on. That's my experience, and it was yours clearly as well.
I'd highly recommend this movie, but I would put the caveat that you do not expect Fury.
No, God, no, it's not Fury.
This is not Fury.
No.
It has many similar things to Fury. The
Sure.
sort of relationships between the crew are some similar in some ways, but they're very different movies. As I said, Fury is a much more action orientated, movie than this is. This is much more of a I guess a character study, I suppose would be the better of putting it for this movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved it, and I highly recommend it.
It's same. Great. I really liked it too. Was that all the movies? I feel like it was all the movies.
Goodrich,
you had some.
Tiger.
You wanted some TV to talk about.
Where, I think that's it for the movies. But yes, so I have also seen Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Yes, you finished Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Game of Thrones series, and it's fucking awesome.
So I hear.
It's one of the best
very, very
TV
good.
shows I've seen in ages, and it's the thing is they're half-hour episodes, and it's only 6 episodes, so it's really bloody short. And it kind of you could just watch it as a very long movie, to be honest. What a series! It is so good, and it the main reason it differs from the other Game of Thrones series is that it's from the perspective really of one knight, Sir Duncan the Tall, and his squire that he acquires, Egg. And it's it has been described as a more brutal A Knight's Tale.
Right. Okay.
So so basically you're introduced to Sir Dunk, who was the squire of this old knight who basically at the beginning dies. So he's burying him. And there's a scene. I watched the first episode with my wife, and my brother-in-law. Um, my wife saw this scene and she was like, "Yeah, no, I'm out." Um, there's
Right.
there's a scene of let's say defecation, uh,
Okay.
which is sort of gross, but but I thought was funny. Uh, but my wife was like, "Yeah, no, I'm not." not watching this." So she was out, which is a shame because overall I think she would have enjoyed it had she
Mm.
stuck with it. But yeah, so this one's got some sort of moments. There is another moment where you see his there's like a flashback to his old master, and it's just him walking, coming out of a room naked, and
Right.
he's quite a well endowed chap. He's a big boy,
Uh-huh.
which again is like funny but really quite unnecessary. But sure, it's just one of those things that I think will some people will just be put off by. But I would also think that, well, if you've seen other Game of Thrones stuff, you kind of know
Mhm.
you're going to get things like that. Um, but basically, this Dunk decides, he's trying to decide what he's going to do with his life now. He's he's now a knight. He's a hedge knight, so he's got no property or anything like that. He just kind of works for other. He will assumingly work for other lords like his master before him did. And he's like, maybe I should just go to the other king and another kingdom and be a mercenary or something, or maybe there's a big tourney coming up. Fuck it, I'm gonna go to the tourney. I'm gonna go and go to this tourney and see what happens. And when he's on his way there, he stops at an inn, and he bumps into this young shaven headed boy called Egg, who basically wants to become his squire, and he's like, at first he's like, no, fuck off, sort of thing, and but eventually, sort of, he becomes his squire, and he follows him to the tournament. And the two mains, Peter Claffey and Dexter Soul Ansel, are amazing. The Dexter is the guy, the kiddie who plays Egg. He's so wonderful, and there's this amazing contrast between them two because so Dunk he's not stupid, but he's obviously not the brightest of sparks at times,
Mm.
and Egg is clearly educated and knows a lot more than a stable boy should know. Let's say because Dunk thinks he's a stable boy, and he's clearly not a stable boy from some of the things he says. You're like, yeah, I don't think so. Somehow, there's no stable boy is mentioning these things.
No.
Um, and you've got it goes on through that this he goes through this tournament, and he has to get vouched for. He has to he is it's like here's a case of no one knows who the fuck you are. No one remembers your master. You have to get someone to vouch for you. So he goes from sort of camp to camp, trying to get someone who he know he knows they were his master worked for these guys at some point, was in battle with them, but they don't fucking remember him. So it's a case of, oh, fuck off, go find someone else to do it, sort of thing.
Sure.
And oh, not really a spoiler. He gets vouched for, but so oh, again, I'm not going to spoil it, but something happens, and he ends up having to fight a duel, basically, which becomes sort of compounded when his rival calls for this for a not just a standard duel. He wants this big duel with multiple combatants because it's his right, and it's this duel that no one fucking does anymore. It hasn't been called on for years, and his opponent's a real fucking asshole. No, as a spoiler to nobody, he's a Targaryen, so
Right.
that kind of says a lot about his character. But he you basically he has to get a number of people to fight with him, otherwise he's lost. So he has to find people to come with him, and the character characters he meets along the way. One of which, um, Sir Lionel, who is wonderful. He's played by Daniel Ings, who plays the idiot brother in the Gentleman series. Which don't know.
Hmm.
Did you catch up with that? Did you watch that in the end?
No, no, I did not.
Because that's one of my favorite shows of a couple of years ago, and he's wonderful in that. He's a real dickhead that you kind of like. He's a really good character because he's such an asshole. And
Mm.
he's tremendous in this as well. He is as this sort of like over the top. Oh, what is he? Is he a? He's a. They're symbols of the stag.
Um,
For fuck's sake, what's the family name? Baratheon. He's a Baratheon. He's great, and I think this is set. I think it's after House of the Dragon, but before Game of Thrones. So it's
sure.
between those things, and it was based on but well, I say based on, it is it's these short stories which I haven't read, um, but apparently other than a few changes are really um
Faithful.
faithful. Yes, the faithful is it's really faithful to those things from what I've heard. Um, and the main difference between this and the others is, as I say, because you're following really just one character. It's also that he's a really good guy. He's a he believes in chivalry, and he believes in honourable knights and stuff. And it's it's a series that is not trying to dissuade you from that.
Mm.
With a lot of the other shows, good nights in those in like Game of Thrones don't usually last very long. They
No.
tend to get they tend to get murked because that's the way Game of Thrones kind of is. This doesn't do that to a certain extent. Of course, he gets fucked up, but uh, it's a really fucking good show of just a guy trying to do his best, um, and and be a good person in a fucking horrible world. And it's really fun. It's really funny. It's the fight scenes are fucking amazing. Um, I think I'd like to have seen a few less of the flashbacks because some of them are like, okay, I don't really need to see this, but fine.
Sure.
Um,
It's difficult when
oh
you've only got 30 minutes as well.
yeah, I think that's it. I think I would have liked to have seen more of the current stuff than
Hmm.
some of the past stuff, but they do a good job of showing you his character, from his up from where he was from. I think from Flea Bottom and all, and that's how he came a squire to this knight and stuff like that. They actually do a really good job, but again, the thing the two main performances in this are tremendous. I've never seen the main guy before. I'm pretty sure I've not seen uh,
Mm.
Peter Claffey in anything previously. But he's wonderful as Sir Dunk. He's so fucking charming. And the kid I had seen in something else. He was in, I think he's in a horror movie that I'd seen.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he was in the ITV adaptation of the Midwich Cuckoos, which was pretty bad, but he was actually quite good at it. He was David, the only sympathetic alien kid.
Right.
He's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
he's the one that sort of actually seems to have emotion, and he was actually one of the better things in that show. But he is so fun. The humor is wonderful, and it's really well done. It does a really fucking good job of um, being mostly concise with what it's doing, and um, it's a really good length. I think it doesn't suffer from that whole. A lot of series recently have suffered from too many episodes that aren't
Oh,
needed.
yeah.
And they do a really good job of having these half-hour episodes that leave it in great, like, little cliffhangery moments that are like, oh fucking hell, and
Mm.
It's great. It is such a fucking good show. I cannot praise it enough. It's just wonderful. Every performance is great. It looks fantastic. The 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 fight scenes are just tremendous. Especially the last episode is fucking wonderful. It's really good. And what I also like is I mean, I know bits about the sort of the history of Westeros before Game of Thrones, so I know how some of it will go on, but I don't know too much. And the stuff with the current king, and what happens with him, you're like, oh my god, it is one of those sorts of moments where you sort of go, oh, the history of Westeros would have probably been so different if that didn't happen. Um, yeah, it's brilliant, wonderfully written,
Yeah.
wonderfully acted, brilliantly fucking made. It's a massive thumbs up from me. If you, I mean, especially if you like Game of Thrones anyway.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, your thing may vary. I mean, but
well,
House
no,
of
I
the
mean,
Dragon,
I loved Game of Thrones, but I
yeah.
haven't watched any of this stuff since Game of Thrones shit the bed.
Well, House
I
of the
just like,
Dragon,
I haven't watched that either.
I recommend
Because I'm
House
like,
of the Dragon as well, because
I
the
think I need
first
to,
first
but like, I need to watch them, but I'm
the first
still
season of House
so
of the Dragon is
fucking pissed off. I'm
fucking
still so
amazing,
pissed off
actually.
with Game of Thrones. I can't.
Yeah, and that's
I
fair enough. I
just,
understand
you
that.
know, I will. I need to because I hear House of Dragons very good, and I
It
hear this
is.
is possibly even better. But I'm just like,
Yeah,
oh god! Every time I think about it, I just think about that last couple of seasons
season
of
season two of
fucking
House of the
Game of
Dragon was a
Thrones.
little bit disappointed because they got kind of screwed over by the writer's strike, so they
Okay,
had to
that's
change it
forgivable
around,
though.
and
Yeah.
they had to drop a couple of episodes, so that it's not as good as the first season. But have you seen the trailer for season 3?
No.
It's a fucking really good trailer, and
Oh, cool.
I think it's worth watching for mainly for two things, especially season 1. It's worth watching season 1 for Paddy Considine.
Uh huh.
He is fucking tremendous. Especially, I mean, you may have seen clips from it. One particular scene towards the end of the show where he comes in into the sort of the hall. It's unbelievable. It's so fucking good. And Matt Smith is just fucking amazing. And
Mm.
what really pisses me off is Matt Smith would have made a fucking wonderful Elric. He should have played
Right.
Elric. They should fucking, if they ever made an Elric show. I mean, it's too late now, and it's never going to fucking happen. But he would have been a fucking amazing Elric,
Yeah.
because kind of his character is basically an even more pissed off version of Elric. It's really fucking good. So I'd recommend House of the Dragon on those two performances
Mm.
alone. But this is just fun. You don't, and I don't even think you need to see any of the other Game of Thrones to see it, to enjoy it.
No, no, no. Well, I
It's
guess it's a
because
prequel to everything, right? So.
it's literally just about a knight and his squire,
Mm.
and a Tory, really. As I said, it's a more brutal knight's tale, if you like.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
well, that sounds good to me. So, yeah, I
yeah.
may well give it a go. Especially because it's half-hour episodes. I could
Hmm.
blitz that quite happily.
Yeah, exactly, and it is only 6 episodes, so it really doesn't say its welcome at all.
Mm. Cool. Well, I was gonna mention Monarch: Legacy of Monsters season 2,
Mm.
but I've only really seen an episode, so I may save it and talk about it when we
Yeah,
get
I'm
a
not.
bit
I
further
think I'm.
into it.
Cause is that dropping an episode a week?
It looks like it. Yes.
Yeah, I think I probably won't watch that until they've all dropped.
Hmm. I will say the episode 1 of season 2 is probably better than anything they've done in the previous season. It's off to a very good start. Is
But it
that
looks
okay?
like
This
from the trailer, it looks like they've upped the monsters.
I cannot believe, like, this is like full, and I know they've got the models from the MonsterVerse movies, but this is like cinema movie level quality. It looks unbelievable for it to be watching this on TV is like what
Yeah.
the fuck. And I must say, like, after Godzilla X Kong, I was like, oh god, like I know they're doing the full Showa thing and it's fine, but I was like, oh, it's kind of But
The
this
thing is,
movie, I'm like,
I
this
still
is.
I still enjoyed that movie.
Oh, so did
It's the
I. I
it's the
enjoyed it for what
worst
it was.
one. Yeah,
Oh,
it's the
by
worst one
far,
of the American Godzilla movies.
by far.
But it was still had enjoyable moments to it.
It had enjoyable moments, but this, I was like, this, this is what should have come after King of the Monsters, is this kind of thing,
Yeah.
Because it feels more in
Well,
line with King of the Monsters.
I think that's what we said about the first season. Is that the first season takes, doesn't fit with the ones that were coming out when the
No,
series.
this
It
fits
already
even
started
less.
becoming slightly more silly by
Yeah.
then.
And this one very much feels like a follow up to the last season and to Godzilla 2014. This one feels more like King of the Monsters y.
Yeah,
You know,
that's good. I love
but so did I. I think it's the best.
In my
they
opinion,
did.
the best one of those.
I think so.
Brilliant.
I think so too. And this one, it's a lot of this episode was it was probably the longest episode they've done. I think it was over an hour or an hour-ish. And it's very good. Like we're off to a good start. The characters you love are all here. The ones you hate are still there, but they're not doing as much, which is good.
Yeah.
That may change as the season goes on, but right now, it's quite good. So far it's hard to tell after one episode, but I was pleasantly surprised. I kind of watched it because I was like, I guess I should. And I found myself very much enjoying it. I enjoyed it a lot more than I was expecting to. So, although Monarch season 1 did pick up towards the end, actually, quite substantially.
Yeah, it was very much a season of two halves. It was very much, all the past stuff was really fucking good. Almost all of the current day stuff was fucking annoying.
So this episode is unique so far in that respect, where both the history stuff is great and the modern day stuff was great for the most part.
Okay.
It almost felt like, because that last season, I agree, it felt like there were two separate writing teams, and one of them was way more talented than the other. This season so far has felt quite even. They both seem very good, and they're both tied together quite nicely as well. But it is only one episode, so we'll wait and see. But yes, did you want to talk about some news?
Yeah, there's not an awful lot that interested me. I watched the new Mummy trailer.
Yes, I saw that just before we started.
Which was a real sort of, oh, okay, they're really going, they're doing something different with this one. It very much reminded me of something closer to Bring Her Back, and I always forget the name of that bloody movie. Yes, Talk to Me. It looks more like it's going to be sort of, modern ritual based than
it's a solid trailer,
mummy sort of thing. Yeah, it's a really good trailer. I really enjoyed it. I thought, okay, well that's different enough that I'm totally on board with that.
It's also superbly directed as a trailer. It's very good. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it looks good.
Yeah. I think there was another trailer I wanted to talk about. It's completely left me what it was, so I'm going to have to skip that one. There was a thing about... No, I fucking couldn't find my notes on it, but there was a thing about... they are doing a... Now, this is what was confusing. Whether it's a reboot or a continuation, I'm not quite sure. But they're doing a newish version of Evangelion.
Oh no.
Which already had a number of endings.
And you know what? The first ending was fine, and it just got worse the more they did. They should have just fucking stopped.
I like what they did with the other endings.
It went downhill for me. I didn't hate it, but it went downhill. No. I think it was perfect to begin with, and then it just every time they come back, I'm like, oh.
But that was a show that whose ending was like, what the fuck just happened? That was like, what? You're almost watching an entirely different show towards the end of that series, which I was fine with it. Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed the more when it starts getting way more metaphysical and sort of almost multiverse-y, I
Yes.
was fine with it. It was, and it's actually really interesting once you look up or read what about the author and what he was going through and how his own mental problems with mental health and things like that, and where he was when he wrote that series. And I don't think I'm not even sure if he's still alive, actually, the original writer, but I don't think the original writer's um, doing it. It's going to be his protege, I think,
Oh,
and
okay.
and it's also going to be done by the guy that did Near Automata,
Oh,
the
right.
game.
Okay. Yeah, I've
And
not played it, but it is quite
if you
popular.
I've played that game. It's a really good game. I like it, but that's another game that you sort of play and you're like, okay, this is a weird sort of this is some weird shit going on here. And you and you when I heard that he was going to be involved, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. That
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I could see this guy working on Evangelion sort of sequel come reboot. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not sure what it's going to be. Because the thing is, with the end, how it ends, you could do a complete continuation because of or a reboot because of what happens. You know,
Hmm.
it's a it's Evangelion is one of my favorite animes. I
Oh, it's
fucking love
wonderful.
that show.
Yeah.
It's such a great fucking show, but it isn't. As it goes along, it becomes something else that I think a lot of fans at the time weren't prepared for,
Mm-hmm.
didn't sort of weren't on board with, because it really does go quite out there towards the end. Um, but I'd say if you love anime and you haven't seen Evangelion, what you're doing, but
Oh God.
just,
Yeah. Just yeah.
watch it. It's great. And again, anime is a very wide, encompassing thing. So it encompasses because it's all sorts of genres and things. But for mech series,
Mm.
it's wonderful. It's brilliant. It's something else. And even it's even got the main character who's a fucking whiny ass dick. Still,
Mm.
I love his character, even though he at times you want to punch him. Um, because of the story and because of the way it's written, it works. Why he's like he is, and how it, I've certainly felt for him. It's it's a tremendous show. I fucking love it, and this is one that I'm not so, you know, as with a lot of these things. Part of me is like, oh, fuck off, just don't. But
Mm.
but also, I think literally because of the way it ends, I would be fine with a continuation or
I mean, I'll
you know,
watch it for sure.
yeah. So
And I mean, speaking of shows and what the fuck, no, don't do it. Firefly seems to be coming back, or at least heavily
I
hinted that it's coming back.
yeah, I saw the
Or
the
they're going to do an episode of The Rookie with a load of cameos. I mean, they could just be a massive troll. I don't know.
I mean that yes. I did see the thing of him knocking on
Could be
Gina
could be
Torres's
doing a
door.
Stargate thing. Yeah.
Yeah, which I don't know how to.
Well, it's
It's
going to be Disney Plus, which doesn't fill me with hope if it
oh
does happen.
fucking hell, that's it, isn't it? It's like fucking
So,
Disney Plus
and
already
also
do.
it's like you've killed off some of the core characters in the movie, and
Well,
like,
okay, I don't think it's going to be a fucking. If it's a spoiler to you, I'm sorry, but
it happened a
Wash.
while ago.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think it's I can live with Preacher dying.
I don't know.
I'm
I still, yeah.
fine with
Hmm.
his character not being it anymore. I don't mind that. But Wash is a pretty fucking big character to lose.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't quite know how you continue at that point.
I mean, the thing is, there's enough of the crew to still be there. I mean,
Sure.
it's still great. It's. I'd be interesting to see how they, what they're gonna do with the
Yeah, what are
whole.
you gonna do?
It's
Yeah.
been like what 20 fucking years now or whatever.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since. What the hell have their characters been doing for?
I mean, I guess that's the point, right? That will be
Yeah, and
the
that's
thing.
that for me is the whole. Oh, this could be so good. However, I will say, if fucking Joss Whedon's not involved, because
He won't be.
he's still a bit of a pariah at the moment, which I think is
I don't
unjust
think he'll
because
be involved.
I don't think he will either. Because
No.
the thing with Whedon is that he's been like ostracized, but from what I can see, it's not because he did anything really bad. It's because he's an asshole.
Uh, I don't really know too much about it, but I've only read him just being an asshole to people.
Yeah, I don't think he's
Which
assaulted anybody or it's so.
I
I
don't
don't know.
know. I wouldn't claim to know enough to
No,
say either
but
way for
from
sure.
what I've
But from
heard,
what I've heard, I agree with you. It does seem to be that he's just a bit of an asshole, and I'm like, well, yeah, a lot of people are assholes.
I honestly
Doesn't stop
can't.
them being talented.
I mean, who the fuck are they going to get in to replace him as the writer? That fucking gun? Someone like, please fucking no, because his latest output has been fucking awful. Because the thing is there's so many people that have been influenced by Whedon, and I mean, they're still trying to. I mean, all of the fucking Star Trek shows are trying to be fucking Buffy.
It
So
looks like it, yeah. Yeah.
it's who would you get to bloody do that? And that's almost a deal breaker for me that Whedon's probably not going to be involved in it, and it's his fucking baby. I can't see how you
Well,
could
all
do
of these
that.
shows are. I mean, and Buffy's coming
Yeah.
back as well, and
Well, I mean that I'm not going to bother with. I don't think. I think that's going to be terrible. I it's interesting, isn't it? It's a case of which it's very pick and choosy and very, I guess, hypocritical. But I'd much rather see a Firefly continuation than a Buffy.
Oh, for sure, because Buffy felt like it came to an end.
Yeah,
it was a rubbish ending, but it was an ending. Whereas Firefly, the trouble is though, Firefly I don't think can come back. Like for me, I think the movie's not great because they forced like 4 seasons of a show into one movie, and when you think of it from that perspective, it's quite remarkable that it's as good as it is.
I love that movie. I think it's a great movie.
I like it a lot. I think the only thing that kind of sours me on it is the knowledge of what could have been if we had 4 seasons instead of this movie.
Yeah.
But it's a good movie.
Especially Inara, the stuff that was going to happen with Inara, it would have been wonderful, and you don't get any of that in the movie.
And the thing is as well, after the movie, the movie basically is the rest of the series in a movie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you're done. It's like you're done now. I don't know where you can go from here, and I'm not sure. I need
the main TAM story.
Do we really need a Gilligan's Island, reunion where they're on the Firefly for some reason? They're back on the island, like I just, have none of them moved on past this point in 30 years?
There's an opportunity to have them, move on. They're all on different places. That I don't know. Maybe Zoe and Mal are still, on the Firefly, but maybe everybody else has moved on or other places, and maybe something happens that brings them all together. That could be interesting, but I don't know. I don't know how well you could pull it off without Whedon. I
don't know how well you can pull it off. Period. At this point, there's missing characters now that will be sorely missed. I mean, I don't know.
How do you replace Wash?
You don't.
I mean, he suggests that River is going to be the pilot from now on, which is fine.
Sure. Yeah.
But I don't know. It's
Well, I guess we will see if this actually ends up happening. It wouldn't be the
Mm.
first time that Disney have teased many things that never happen.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But interesting nonetheless. Is there anything else you wanted to discuss?
Yeah, we've got the sad part again.
Everybody's dead, Dave.
Everybody's dead, Dave. Yeah. So starting with the big one, Robert Duvall.
Yeah, I mean, fucking hell. Robert Duvall just, oh god, for my generation, just like, god, he was in fucking everything. It's such what I think one of the best supporting actors of all time, and I don't mean that in like a negative way. Like, I feel like he should have had more fucking starring roles, but
Yeah.
my god, he was like the best, supporting actor ever. like he's just so good in every movie he's in. But
Yeah.
he's usually alongside a bigger star.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we've covered one of, I think, his big sort of starring roles, which in oh, and now I'm going to forget the name of the bloody movie. The Kevin Costner
Open
movie that we
Range.
did. Open Range. Thank you. Fucking hell,
Yeah.
man. Open Range. He is so fucking amazing in that movie.
Oh, that movie is so good. Yeah.
I think one of his best performances. He's just wonderful.
Definitely.
And I mean, even in like The Godfather, he's wonderful in Godfather. He's great in in the MASH movie. It's just so many parts that he was just.
He's arguably the best thing in Days of Thunder.
Oh my god, Days of Thunder! I haven't seen that movie since it came out.
Well, it's Top Gun with lesser stakes.
More about that movie since it came out, to be honest. God, Days of Thunder.
It's Top Gun with lesser stakes. They were like, "Hey, Tom Cruise, what if you did another Top Gun movie, except the stakes were way lower?" Like, cool, okay. Make exactly the same movie, but with cars this time.
I mean, oh my god, Deep Impact, Civil Action.
Oh god, yes, Deep Impact, which was a better movie than Armageddon. But because it wasn't flashy enough, no one cared about it, and only ever talk about bloody Armageddon instead. Not a bad movie, Deep Impact, actually. Yeah.
The Paper. Oh man, the other one we've done, of course, as well, like Falling Down.
Oh.
And he's pretty much he's the second lead in that movie. He's he's right up there with
I mean, you could argue that he is. I mean, he is the protagonist of the movie.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, and he's certainly the heart of the movie. He's
for sure. Yeah.
The stuff that he's going through with in his fucking life, and
with his wife and stuff. Yeah,
and why he's retiring it's wonderful. And there's so many lovely little moments in that movie with him when they go to question the defense's mother.
Yes,
and she's freaking out about the ornaments, and he just brings her down. He brings her over, and because it's how he deals with his wife in a similar manner.
He's dealt with this. Yeah.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Just little tiny little bits, and how good of a cop he is, even though everybody fucking hates him because he's too fucking honest, and he doesn't swear.
Yes, he refuses to swear. He's great.
The scene with him and his boss, when his boss is like being all fucking macho and like
when he finally swears.
Yeah, I don't trust you because you don't swear, and you're a bad cop and all that sort of stuff. And you think, wow, this dude's a real fuckwit. He's a real asshole. It's a wonderful wonderful movie and wonderful performance.
Yeah.
Robert Duvall
will definitely be missed. Superb actor.
James Van Der Beek.
Yeah. Horrendous. Didn't actually know he was even ill.
No, I didn't.
So that came out of nowhere for me. Anyway, I gather it was kind of public knowledge, but I was just
apparently he'd been ill for a while, and I think he'd been trying to get funds for for his treatment.
Mm.
I got a real soft spot for James Van Der Beek. I really like Dawson's Creek. It's just one of those things that you sort of ended up watching and getting sucked into, and it's pretty awful. I really love it.
Yeah. I mean, I remember it being on. I don't remember that I ever sat down to watch any of it, but
And
I mean, he was in a lot of stuff,
yeah, he was,
of
and
the time.
I like that he had a real sense of humor about his past work.
Yeah.
He was quite happy to take the piss out of himself. When you see him in
There's
Jane Silent
nothing
Bob.
worse. There's nothing worse than actors that shit on their past like that. Like that's the movie, that's the series or the movie that made you. Like don't be all like above it now, Like
Yeah.
have a bit of a sense of humor and
Mm-hmm.
just be cool with it, Like
Yeah.
I always respected what's his name? Jason David Frank, the Green Power Ranger. He
Yeah.
always was like, oh, like loved Power Rangers. He always loved it to the day unfortunately passed. But
Mm.
he was never ashamed. He was like, no, that made me who I am. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
yes, it was a rubbish kids TV show, but it made me, and I'm proud that I did it. And it's given me these opportunities in life, and cool, I really hate it when you get those actors that are like, oh no, I'm above that now, and it's like that literally put you on the map. That made you,
Yeah.
And I'm sure, I think James Van Der Beek did do stuff before Dawson's Creek, but Dawson's Creek is the thing that he's known for.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
And I
yeah,
really like. What was that
seemed like a
movie?
nice guy too.
What's the, oh,
Just
that's right. He kind of took the piss out of himself in oh, what was it? Don't trust the bitch in Apartment 23.
right.
He basically played himself, but like a hyper version of himself.
Uh-huh.
So, and it was really funny. I really liked it. And there's a movie. I'm trying to remember that movie that he was in that was really bloody good. Um,
I have no idea.
I'm trying to find it. What was it? I can't bloody find it now. But he was in a really good movie that I thought was tremendous in. But yeah, I mean, he was a fun actor. I liked him a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And finally, one who we literally just did a movie with.
Yeah. Is this
You
becoming
know,
a curse? I hope this isn't
it's,
becoming a curse.
yeah, Tom Noonan, who
Yeah.
we just did Last Action Hero.
Yeah.
And almost immediately
Almost the
after
same day,
we'd
right?
done
Yeah.
that, he died. And we both adored Tom Noonan. He's a wonderful actor.
But just
I mean,
brilliant in everything he's in,
yeah, yeah. He was great in Last Action Hero. He's wonderful in
I mean, for all of its faults, it's not the best fucking sequel for sure. I love him as Kane in RoboCop 2. I think he's cool
Kane.
as Kane.
Great. Yeah.
I think he's cool. And yeah, he was in a lot of great stuff.
Yeah. I mean, for me, his peak is Manhunter.
I was gonna say
love
Manhunters, yeah.
Manhunter is such a fucking amazing movie. It's still my favorite Lecter movie.
Yeah.
He's wonderful as the Tooth Fairy in that movie. It's a tremendous performance, and I even love him as the monster in Monster Squad. He's so good.
He's great. Yeah,
in the role of, and that movie's got. It's so heartbreaking when the poor old takes him away, and he's saying bye, Phoebe. It's really sad. He was great. He was a great actor, and I know he kind of got, because he's such a big dude and such an imposing sort of figure. I think he kind of got a bit pigeonholed as the sort of psycho killer.
Well, of course, yeah.
But he did do it tremendously well, and I think we even, as I said, we were watching X-Files, going back through X-Files, and the episode he appeared in was a shit episode. I think, well, not a shit episode, but it was an episode that forgets things. Seems to forget that Mulder has just seen his sister cloned, and
Yeah.
now we're supposed to believe that this guy killed her. No, I don't think so. But he's great in it. He's really wonderful and creepy as this child murderer in it. He's wonderful. Yeah, really really sad. One really great actor.
Yeah, absolutely. He's also in the Equalizer, which I've been rewatching. I went to a car boot sale a couple of weeks ago, and someone had the entire series of the Equalizer for like 10 quid on DVD, and I was like, yeah, sold. I was like, sold. I love the fucking Equalizer, and I've watched it for. It's one of those shows you just can't find anywhere online. So I was like, yeah, I do want the complete Equalizer on DVD. Thank you very much. So I've been like kind of going through that.
Is it bad? Because I got a
no, it's great.
Oh, does it still hold up? Does it?
For the early, I'm still on like season 1, but it's pretty fucking good. You know,
I love Equalizer. I remember it being a great show.
Yes, I remember enjoying it. I think it went downhill when he had his heart attacks. They kind of replaced him for a little while, and that was not so good. But
I don't remember that. Blimey.
Yeah. But go on.
I do remember the Adamant episode.
Yeah.
I remember, as much as I love Adamant, I remember him being fucking awful in it.
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, I mean the early Equalizer stuff is good so far. I'm slowly, it's one of those like I can put this on in the background and not really have to pay too much attention. Just But yeah, it's been good so far. But anyway, yeah, another sad loss for sure. So on that depressing note,
you really have to start finding happy things to finish on. I mean...
Well, we came close to picking a movie last time after the show. Have you thought any more about it, or are you still?
We got it down to 2, didn't we?
We did indeed.
So we thought we'd do
one of those 2. Yeah.
Yeah, we think it's going to be one of the 2 werewolf movies, isn't it?
It will indeed. Do you want to pick one right now?
Why not?
I'm torn.
Which would you prefer?
Honestly, torn down the middle. Yeah, I mean, I own them both. I only own the options are The Howling or Ginger Snaps.
Yeah.
I own both. I own The Howling on Blu-ray, but I wish I owned Ginger Snaps on Blu-ray because I haven't seen Ginger Snaps for ages, which makes me tempted for Ginger Snaps. But I could go either way, honestly.
I love them both, so I'm happy with either.
I think let's go with Ginger Snaps because it's not a movie. We'll do The Howling one day because obviously,
yeah, of course.
But yeah, because that's not like a kind of horror movie we've done for a while. Yeah, let's go with that.
And
let's go with
in the scale of things, a relatively modern, more modern one that we cover.
For us, it's pretty modern, yeah.
I mean, it's. I was going to say it's still fucking. What is it? It's probably about 20 years fucking now, isn't it? When did?
Oh god, yeah, probably more. Yeah. But I always loved Ginger Snaps. I thought it was a great movie. So.
And I like the sequels as well. The.
Yes, not the
second one has a bit. It's a little.
Is the second one? Is the second one the prequel when they're all?
No, that's the third one. That's the.
It's the third one. The medieval one or whatever the fuck it was. Yeah.
No, it was it's Frontier, isn't it? It's.
Oh yeah, that's right, Frontier. Yeah. All right, we'll be back next week with Ginger Snaps.
Yeah.
But,
my god, it came out in 2000.
There you go.
So not one of the more modern movies we've seen.
26 years ago. We will be back with Ginger Snaps next week. Until then, stay safe, take care, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.